not own and control a sufficient amount of anything to be competitive in America. And you've been marginalized now for 400 years. You're getting ready to be buried. You can get buried underneath a whole broad groups of ambiguous groupings. That's everything from culture groups, language groups, and gender groups. You're going down. It's no longer an issue. You better get reparations and get it fast. Two is going to a new period called benign neglect, okay? Or callous indifference. Right. Or out of sight, out of mind. So then it said, so Moynihan came up with a policy by the late 60s saying, or early 70s saying, it's time for us to move from focusing on black folk to focus on Indians, Hispanics, and women.
Real life examples of benign neglect. Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you, this is for African Americans? If there was a banking crisis, then you target money for the banks. If there was a national disaster, you target your money for the national disaster relief.
That's not how America works. America works when all of us are pulling together and everybody is focused on making sure that every single person has opportunity.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
Pass the goddamn shit. I'm tired of this motherfucking shit.
Peace, love, and reparations. Peace, love, and reparations, family. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy, Black Star. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that link, that notification bell, and that share button. Welcome, family. So today I'm going to get into this reparations article that was written by our brother Richard Sudan out of the UK. So he spoke on the Rally for Reparations in this article, and I'm gonna actually read some of it to y'all. I'm gonna just skip over a little teeny bit of it, but it's really it's gonna be like the parts where they was talking about what Tariq said at the rally, whatever. But again, y'all go to the video and see what they said. He talks about what Teslin said and what Jade said. So I'm not gonna read that part, but I am going to get into it. I'm also going to get into this. I think his name is Stephen Miller, and he got an ad. But we're going to look into that because I want to look into the company that actually actually making the ad, that actually financed the ad, and we're going to get into that as well. So bear with me. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all to let you see the videos that I'm going to show. But I'm actually playing them off my phone, so you're gonna hear it coming through the speaker. All right, so here we go, family. Let's get it. You feel me? This is the racism joint. So hold on, I gotta actually rewind this joint back a little bit. Damn, what's going on? All right, here we go.
When did racism against white people become okay? Joe Biden put white people last in line for COVID relief funds. Kamala Harris said disaster aid should go to non-white citizens first. Liberal politicians block access to medicine based on skin color. Progressive corporations, airlines, universities all openly discriminate against white Americans. Racism is always wrong. The left's anti-white bigotry must stop. We are all entitled to equal treatment under law. America First Legal paid for this ad.
America First Legal airing that insane ad in parts of Georgia and Florida. Stephen Miller.
So again, that was off the Young Turks joint. I like to give the shout out to whoever actually ever put that up. But again, right? So they're saying that it's white racism, but I'm going to play Our Brother so y'all can actually understand what racism truly is, and I'm gonna let y'all hear it from Dr. Claude.
World, I asked blacks in various countries. I said, two people stand up any place in the room. I'll give you $1,000 if you can tell me what racism is. I've never ever had one that knew what racism was. Never had one. I said, what is racism? He said, well, it's bigotry, it's hatred, it's not getting along with people, it's bias, it's discrimination. All that wrong. Racism has nothing to do with getting along with people and liking people. Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power. That's what racism is. Racism never existed on the earth until the 1500s. when all of a sudden 9 European nations decided to use black labor, black bodies, and black wealth out of Africa to get in a race. After Columbus had discovered America, supposedly, in quotes, in 1495, all of a sudden they got a rush to redevelop the Western world. So all these countries were in a race, a contest, competing to see who can develop North America, Central America, and Latin America. It was a race. It was a race, and everybody was in the race but black folk. Black folk never participated in the race. You were the prize, the boot, the loot that they used to empower themselves. See, they were buying blacks in Africa on a typical for $15 to $20 a piece. And they established a thing called a profit margin, 15% return on investment, 1,500% return. So they were selling for $400, $500. They got into the United States and to other countries. And that's why the whole banking system started off of slavery in Portugal. Again, and the whole system of capitalism started off of black slavery. Before that was mercantilism. The whole concept that you all are playing in with promotions and what's called marketing development came out of black slavery. It was designed not for you to profit, but for others to profit. Everybody was profiting initially except you, and it has not changed. And so when I look at your program, and it says that you are marketing developers. Marketing developers. I would say marketing means going into any environment, a site, a geographical area, and promoting a product or a service or a good to get an equal value for it. You're marketing, but it also stipulates in there that to be a marketer, you must have a market. So I ask black folk, where are your markets? Where are your markets? Where is the black market? And they said, well, Dr. Ellis, we got a black market. Where is it? They said, well, it's all over the United States. And that's how much you get. We got a $650 billion black market. And that's a lot of money. Wrong is not. It is not a lot of money. It's only a lot of money when it's aggregated. Scattered through the integration process, your money is nothing. It is chump change. Because we don't plan to have power. That's why we continue to integrate and scatter our money. And then brag about how much money we got. And then we come up with magazines and research to tell everybody where to go get our money and how to get it. Nobody else is that foolish but us. You got to have a license to be that stupid to do those kind of games. You don't tell people how to come into your market and how to sell to your people and take your money and your economy out. That's called a capital drain. When I was assistant secretary of commerce, we would I took trade missions around the world. Nobody would allow that to happen in their country. We would not let the Japanese come over here and do dumpings, dump their automobiles in Norfolk and in Jacksonville, Florida. That's called dumping, which means you come over and take the wealth out of our nation and doesn't take anything back to Japan. When they come over and dump their steel from Korea, we had a balance of trade policy, so you can't do this. Everybody has a balance of trade policy except black folk. We'll let anybody come in and do anything to us because we haven't changed since slavery. We still don't understand the process. Every day, Burger Kings and McDonald's trucks will come into a black neighborhood and dump hamburgers, Coca-Cola, and take nothing out. That's a balance of trade deficit. This country right now is suffering from a balanced trade because we've allowed it to happen since Bush has been in office. And that's why you cannot profit in the society, because you got a capital drain. Nobody's ever taught black folk how to practice group economics. Your money is supposed to stay in your own country or in your own community and with your own hands and your own people and bounce at least 8 to 12 times. But we are the only people that absolutely refuse to do it. We won't do it. As a matter of fact, we are against spending money with our own people.
But I do want you to know that what he said basically, right? So what he said basically was racism is a competitive relationship between people with power that own and control the resources, the wealth, and the wealth. You feel what I'm saying? So white people saying that someone's practicing racism against them is not even possible, right? It's not even possible for us to practice racism against white people because we don't own and control any resources to be able to oppress you in any type of way or block you from doing anything, right? Systemically, or as in a system where we can just like, yo, you can't come in here and get this bank loan. You can't come in here and get this car loan. You can't come buy this property. We're going to sit here and mass incarcerate you. Like, black people don't have that power, right? We don't have the resources to be able to do that. Yo, we're not letting you get any electric. Or do you get what I'm saying? We don't have that type of power or whatever. I actually got a t-shirt in there that actually reads something on one of Dr. Claude Anderson's quotes. But again, I just wanted to play that so a person can get the true definition of racism, because like he said, racism isn't bigotry, isn't spewing racial epithets and things like that. It is the people who are owning, controlling the power, resources, and and wealth, and using it to oppress other groups of people. That's what true racism is. Anything else? That's why when we say, "Oh, he's racist," he's a racist. Like, nah. When we use that term so broad, it actually takes away, right? It actually takes away from the people who are actually practicing true structural racism, right? So again, this is why these people are able to make little commercials like this and say, yo, they commit racism against us just based off such and such, right? Oh, they said they was going to give them the money first. Like, no, that's not racism, fam. It's not racism, because you're still getting the bread. You just ain't getting it first. And let's be for real. That ain't even no bread that you really talking about. But let's go into that. I want to actually read their America's First Legal was actually the people who sponsored that ad, and I wanted to get into them. So this is about fighting back against the lawless executive actions and the racial left and the radical left. Sorry, excuse me. So again, America's First Legal is a long-awaited answer to the ACLU. We are committed to unwavering defense and true equality under the law, national borders, and sovereignty, freedom of speech, religion, classical values and virtue, and the sanctity of life and centrality of family, and our timeless legal and constitutional heritage through the relentless litigation oversight will protect America's first, last, and always. So that's the dude Stephen Miller, who I guess is running for office. But I was going to say this, right? Because okay, so we talk about the right, and again, I don't like either party. But again, this was what I was going to say as far as, because I think in my last video I was speaking on what's her name, the reparationist perspective, and Marcel Dixon, right? And how they are saying, yo, you know what? We don't really need to just straight up not vote, right? We need to vote for somebody who's going to close these borders. And that's why I was going to show y'all this, right? Because again, I've showed y'all that video where it always says that, man, where'd that shit go? Damn. Okay, so it says federal judge rules that Biden etiquette forcing doctors to treat patients based on gender identity is unlawful. See, that's something I agree with. You see what I'm saying? Like, they try to make these people seem like they're such like crazy racist radicals, and some of them are, right? Some of them really are. But let's view all news. That's probably what I really have to do to get to the one that I actually wanted to get into. It was something on immigration, man. I can't get to it. Shit. See, again, watch this. ADFL demands OIG investigation into legal use of taxpayer dollars for training federal employees on gender pronouns for illegal aliens. See what I'm saying? Like a waste of bread. Damn, man. It was something about they suing them for a lot of stuff. Damn, I can't find it. It was actually on my thing, man. I'm gonna just read it off my phone. Cause it was let me just go to immigration. I can't find it, family. I'm sorry. But it was talking about you know, stopping immigration and immigrants from like them transporting immigrants all around the country, right? See, AFL requests documents related to ICE's decision to terminate its office for support of victims of crimes of illegal aliens. The request records relating to the Biden administration's disastrous plan to turn the border patrol into a welcoming agency for illegal aliens. See what I'm saying? This is what I was looking for. This is exactly what I was looking for. So again, this is this type of stuff that you know, the reparationist perspective. Shout out to her. Shout out to Marcel Dixon, who, again, like I said, you know, we all ain't going to agree on everything, right? And no party is going to have all of our interests at heart. So I do understand where they're coming from as far as like, yo, we don't need to withhold our vote. We actually need to vote for somebody who's down with closing the borders, right? So again, like I said, a lot of us actually have conservative views, more than we have liberal views. Because see, these conservatives actually are, again, against abortion, and if we are black, we shouldn't be against abortion, right? We shouldn't be for abortion. I'm sorry, we shouldn't be for abortion to an extent, right? I get special circumstances, but like, yo, bro, if you just feel like you just having abortions willy-nilly because you just don't feel like taking care of no kids, fam. You have to, in my opinion, you just have to, like, you know, start being more responsible, fam. That's just like a nigga running around just slam dancing on any broad he see, raw dog, and then like, yo, man, you gotta get in the board. I ain't trying to take care of them kids. Like, fam, well, stop running around just dunking your dick and everything. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real. And this is the thing we will say to a man who is running around reckless, just having random sex. We'll be like, yo, fam, you put yourself in that position to have all those kids, right? But see, the girl has the all the say when she runs around reckless doing that she can just keep, you know, killing the babies and shit. You feel me? And nobody's gonna say, yo, well, she can't afford another baby. She can't afford to have another baby. Neither could he. Neither could he though, fam. But you know what I mean? We going dog the nigga for running around you know what I mean, slanging his lumber, like, you know what I mean, however which way he want. And shout out to my sister, to the Queen Princess. That's her real name, Princess. But shout out to her for giving me shooting me this little information or whatever, shooting me the video so I can you know, break it down. But again, it says the AFL request records to related to Biden's. I read that. Boom, boom. A welcoming agency is welcoming the Border Patrol into welcome agency for illegal aliens because the administration will not be truthful about the number of aliens it is releasing into the country without so much as a court date. AFL filed the FOIA to get to the bottom of it, right? So again, I'm down with this because again, this is the document. Because again, Freedom of Information Act, information regarding the catch and release practices of the issuance of notice to appear. Because you know, as they was talking about in my one video, I'm sorry, it was the Immigration for Central Research, right? The research for immigration, the Central Immigration Research Committee, right? So they did a study and it's showing that immigration is actually hurting us foundational Black Americans the worst, right? And actually it's hurting Black males more than it's hurting anybody, but as a group, you know what I mean? It's hurting Black people in general, right? But more Black males than Black women. So again, but nonetheless, Black women are being hurt by immigration. Even the country as a whole, just in general, is being hurt. No other country would just allow all these immigrants to come in their country. As a matter of fact, when you get to the Western countries, you know what I mean, they actually kicking people out. Like, bro, y'all gotta go. Y'all can't keep piling up over here. You feel me? Because it affects the citizens in that country, right? But again, our our elected officials who really don't care, because again, they have an agenda, because a lot of these, elected officials own big companies. They want a lot of these immigrants to come in here for cheap labor, because to undermine Black people, because that's what their true thing is again. So this is actually a good thing. And that's why I said, like, okay, I get the the video about the white people saying that we racist, or we're being racist towards them, and that white people are undergoing racism. Like, even though that's not true, right? It's actually almost impossible, especially for Black people, to be able to practice that. The only people that might be able to practice that, and it's not going to be over here, is Chinese people, because they own and control a lot of resources too. But that's over there in China. But you're not over here being oppressed by Chinese people. You're being oppressed by your own people, right? So again, it's try to make it seem like it's somebody's really doing that to you is BS. But yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna get into this whole reparations thing. Again, shout out to our brother Richard Sudan. So it says, the new ARAB, reparations for slavery, U.S. government pay up. I like that. You know what I mean? Following the reparations rally, Richard explains why the campaign is still so important, given the continued impact of slavery in the U.S., further pressure to be applied. And we do have to apply further pressure, family. We definitely have to apply further pressure on them. A rally of thousands recently took place in Washington, D.C., amplifying calls for the United States federal government to finally pay cash reparations to the living descendants of Black American slaves, whereas other groups in the country have received reparations for atrocities suffered. The same justice has never been afforded to the community, which is still living through the ramifications of one of the biggest crimes in history. And despite many of the so-called claiming to be supportive of the right of foundational Black Americans to receive reparations since Joe Biden took office, all the talk of reparations for the political class has simply fizzled out, right? So it says those communities who are directly descendants of slaves who continue to live on the ongoing effects of white supremacy, systematic white supremacy, nevertheless remain committed as ever in demanding the government finally address the crimes committed against them, right? So this is the big one I wanted to read too. So, right, this is the part. The bill to study reparations, known as H.R. 40, which is a nothing burger. That shit is no bueno. We not even rocking with that. But he makes a good point. Remains stalled in Congress while Biden claims to have the backs of Black Americans upon winning office, because he did say he have our back, and you not Black if you don't vote for me. Remember, he told Charlemagne that. So seems a little more than an empty promise. The president could do more, but chooses not to. And he definitely chooses not to, because again, he could have signed those executive orders for HR 40 for them to study reparations, which we don't want to study though. And he's going to get into that part too. So they often repeat the claim that the U.S. does not have the money to pay reparations, which is simply not true. It's not. Billions of dollars, if not more, have been swiftly allocated to support Ukraine in its ongoing war with Russia, with no study needed. Absolute facts. Through the pandemic, billions of dollars are billions of dollars were rightly whistled up in order to support effects to curb the problem. It didn't take years of empty promises. Facts. Similarly, the U.S. seems to have a blank check book whenever it comes to the war, but not when it comes to addressing the long-lasting injustice suffered by the tax-paying Black Americans. Facts. And our tax dollars are actually going toward restoring, which is reparations, Native Americans, still the Jewish community, because from the Holocaust, right? Because the United States still pay them all the time. So again, which didn't even happen over here, but we're still paying them, and that comes out our tax dollars. But it says, unfortunately, there is no political will. A reality that is consistent with how the U.S. government has always treated Black people. Those communities who are directly descended from slaves and who continue to live with the ongoing effect of systematic white supremacy, nevertheless remain committed as ever in the demanding that the government finally address the crimes against them. Thousands of people of all ages from across the country conveyed in the Capitol to make their voices heard. They represent part of the much larger campaign which continues to gain national momentum, despite both the mainstream media, with one notable exception, and the political class has largely chosen to ignore the rally for reparations, in which the long term will only reflect bad. And and I'm be honest, if you look at the statistics, because people done did statistics on this, that the United States is actually hurting themselves financially, not paying reparations to Black people, because, and I'm gonna tell you what the statistics, I actually heard our brother Marcel break this down. And I said I was going to do a video on that video, and I'll do it one of these days. Because when you have immigrants coming over here and them getting money, right, and they work for the money, and they're saying that 40% to 30-something% of the money that they're making is getting sent to other countries, right? That's actually hurting our economy. That actually hurts our economy to an extent, compared to if you were, and it's not just the money they working for, the program money that they get, because they get money allocated to them for different reasons and things like that. So again, if you were to give it to us, we're not sending our money out to different countries, which all that money actually gets put back into the U.S. economy, which would have built the economy up if you was to give out reparations. So that's why I said, again, the statistics show that not giving us reparation is actually hurting us in the long run. Despite this, both mainstream media, with one notable exception, and the political class have largely chosen to ignore the rally for reparations, which, affect them badly. I already read that. That was Little Man. I seen Little Man out there too. My baby boy wanted to show support. Yeah, anti-Black hate crime bill. Yes, we definitely need that. And if you listen to the intro, you would have seen that old girl said she ain't doing nothing specifically for Black people, but you did something specifically for Asians and gave them an Asian crime bill, hate crime bill. So filmmaker Tariq Nasheed organized. That's the part I didn't want to read, right? So again, if you want to watch the rally, you can go on onto my other YouTube videos, which is on the live. You got to go to the live section of the videos, and you can catch that. Talked about our sister Teslin Figueroa. Talked about Jade. Shout out the Lioness Crown. I love Jade. She's super pretty too, to be honest. Such calls for reparations are not unrealistic fringe movement, as some would have you believe, and have been in the past, right? Paid to Japanese Americans, were paid to Native Americans. They have been even paid to slave owners. Japanese Americans got their cut, Native Americans still get their cut, and slave owners have been paid, right? So reparations is not a controversial issue, but the people who claim to be supportive of the move, often hyping up their progressive credentials, usually around election time, amount to little more than hypocrisy when it comes to the action. They are the same liberals who love to push a watered-down version of Martin Luther King, conveniently neglect the fact that King himself was advocate for reparations. For those in doubt, he made it clear in one of his famous speeches that when we come to Washington, we're coming to get our checks. That's my favorite Martin Luther King speech of all time. So similarly, many misguidedly seem to believe, despite the available evidence, that the election of Biden and Kamala Harris was somehow going to miraculously, bring about the end of structural racism in the country. And this is almost done too. And with the reparations would be back on the table. Harris, however, has made it crystal clear that she does not support reparations for Black Americans descendants of slaves. Reparations are possible if the grassroots movements are supported to continue pushing the issue and putting it on the agenda through organizing and lobbying politicians. Facts. That's absolute facts. And this is what I was trying to get through my brother Kareem Blizz Johnson's thick head. Nah, shout out to Kareem. But yeah, we didn't agree on the whole reparations thing. But they also hold elected leaders to account, reminding us of the promise they made to win the Black vote, should they choose to ignore them once in the power, right? So, because they love to do that. They love to talk about it. I was just about to say that, even when they were talking about that, they was talking like Bernie Sanders, all of them people. Again, we forget so fast because we have so much things that go on since the time of an election, right? So if you just go back to 2020, I actually had pulled up clips of that and took little clips and put it on Facebook at one time. And I was like, yo, look at all the stuff they talking about, right? They were talking about free healthcare for all, taxing the rich, blah, blah, blah. New Green Deal. They always talk about that New Green Deal. Like, man, shut up. That ain't doing nothing for nobody, right? Who does that help? Who does that help get out of poverty? The New Green Deal. Shut up. So even if you're not even talking about Black people, who does that get out of poverty? Does that take the white trash people out of the what's that? What's the things they be living in, man? I can't even think of it, man. The trailer parks. Yeah, there you go. That don't even do nothing for them. So again, that's just a bunch of BS. But again, if you even just go look, just 2020, you ain't even got to go back to Obama when he was lying about all the stuff he said he was going to do, right? Just go back to Biden. What was Biden and them saying when they was trying to see who was going to be the Democratic nominee? Listen to the stuff they were saying. They ain't doing none of that shit. Nigga been in office the whole time, and they probably going to make him run again against Trump. Do you feel what I'm saying? I think Trump is actually going to win this time when he goes to. Let me finish this real quick. But again, like they said, they also hold elected leaders to account, reminding us of the promises they made to win the Black vote, should they choose to ignore them once in power. In the wake of Black Lives Matter demonstrations, the physical destruction of statues of historical figures who directly profited from slavery, and calls for the decolonization of education in the U.S. and beyond, it is clear that the younger generations are renewing calls for reparations. Like I said, they are unlikely to stop until they are heard, and we should not encourage that rage, not only encourage that rage, but join them in amplifying the long-standing demands. And this was Richard Sudan. Shout out to him. I just started following him on Twitter, and you guys should too. Oh my God. I wasn't even sharing my screen. The whole time. That's crazy. I'm sorry, family. But this was that article right here. And this was the article of the America First Legal. Damn, that's crazy. I wasn't sharing my screen that whole time. I don't even know if I was sharing it through the whole video of Dr. Claude Anderson, but whatever, you heard it, right? You heard it, family. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not recording this over. Just not doing it. Back in the day, I would have said, man, damn, I got to re-record that, man. I'm not re-recording this. You heard it. I read it, right? So that's what it is. Again, man, cut the check. We need them checks cut. And so again, even with the whole right, we do have to decide whether we just going to hold our vote as a group. Because I still believe, just like how, again, what's her name? Stacey Abrams, a lot of Black Georgians withheld their vote. Even though they showing the 80%, black men, 84% black men or 86% black men voted for her, and 93% of black women voted for again, and I looked at them numbers from Biden. They was actually the same exact numbers for Stacey Abrams. Really off. And I think them numbers be skewed, man. They just using the same numbers. Like, man, these niggas ain't going back to look at none of this stuff. But we'll never know what the real numbers are until we get some of our people in there who are going to be actually doing the tallying. But I think they be fronting, man. I think they really be fronting. As you can even see in the video, the intro that I played, if you pause it, when those numbers come up, the same numbers from Biden and Trump, when they said black males voted 84%, 86%, and black females voted at 93%. And then I put the Stacey Abrams Kemp race, and it was the same numbers of black males voting for Democrats. Like, I don't know. That seems suspicious. Like you just put numbers together. But again, I don't feel like a lot of people even came out, which was in default made Kemp win, right? You can't really tell between Herschel Walker and them. I'm gonna tell you right now, if they, and I think they made Herschel Walker win because they know, Georgia is a black state and they need some black voters, and white Republicans just come off so goddamn racist, man. That it's hard for them to try to get black votes what they face. So they like, you know what? In a state like Georgia, where it's a lot of black people, how about we just get this this fool to go up there and just, we know he's not very articulate, but so what? They see a black face. He used to play football. It's a football state, right? This is how they be thinking, bro. They think that like we like stupid as hell, right? Even though politically we are kind of remedial. Right, as a group, right? As a group, not all of us, but as a group, politically, we're not remedial on an intellectual level, but politically, Jesus Christ, man, we just get they can get what's her name, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and man, what's the other one name? I forgot her name. I forgot her damn name. Nicki Minaj. They get them up there shaking that butt. Niggas be out there voting. Oh shit. And girls. Oh no. Twerk that booty to the pose and y'all just go on to vote. Nigga sending you to hell in a handbasket. They just getting paid to do it because they don't care because they good, right? They don't care that you going to hell in a handbasket. They done soup them up because they ain't politically sound. They just hitting them with the Republicans are racist, right? And they like, yeah, they are, right? Because I don't really know nothing about this political stuff. I mean, it's known that they like racist, right? Yeah, so you feel what I'm saying? So they finesse them too. So they don't really know what they doing. They just walking in blind, serving you up as a platter. You feel what I'm saying? So again, we that's why they know that. That's again, think about that shit. He's a football player. He's famous. Go out there. He ain't really that savvy, but Warnock is just as unsavvy. You feel me? And it's so funny because he's a politician and a pastor, so he just come off so slickish, like with the slick. He just slick, bro. So I said, if you watch the whole debate, this dude wasn't even answering any question straight. They'd be like, Warnock, so what are you going to do about healthcare? He'd be like, see, I grew up in a small town. Everybody was poor, and I went to a poor school, and my mother and my grandmother raised me. You feel me? 2 strong black women. And I think that if the community just works together and we go to more baseball games, that we'll do great in the state of Georgia. That's his answer to healthcare. Like, nigga, what the is you talking about? Like, nigga, what the hell does that have to do with fucking healthcare, nigga? Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. These people, and you got people that's like, yo, well, he ain't racist. Like, nigga, that nigga just finessed you. That's why it's just like, man, I don't know, black people, we just got to do better. But again, they finessing these numbers. We not voting like that. And I believe that if we, don't vote, just by default, you know, the Republicans will win, and we'll fall into the whole, border thing, because that's the reparationist perspective's major issue, which I understand, and I get that a lot, right? Because I'm affected by that a lot in real time. So again, I understand where she's coming from, and because it's almost like this too, because again, we can say no vote, no tangibles, no vote, but then you got a lot of us, bro. You got a lot of our people who are just, unpolitically savvy, right? And they just still going along with the whole mainstream media, like, oh, I have to vote because my ancestors said, and then they go and they believe the whole nonsense when they saying the Republicans are racist, and they still voting for Democrats, right? Again, if these numbers are true that they talking about with the 93% black women and the 84%, we still got knuckleheads out there voting for these fools, right? In large numbers, right? So again, I could see how the reparations perspective, like, all right, well, instead of just not voting and letting those black people who are voting, vote us into our demise, you know what I mean? How about we, the people who saying no vote, because it's a lot of us too, how about we just vote for the other party? And I can understand that, because again, you cannot vote and then still lose by default, because, we do have a lot of people who are still on the Democratic train, right? So, but again, I think Trump is running soon too, and I think Trump actually will win the next time he runs. Dead serious. I definitely think Trump is going to win. If Trump can, not run, which I'm trying to tell you, the nigga stayed out the paint this whole time for a reason, right? Say, yo, let my little heat die down from the whole racism thing. I come back. And then I start talking about, he's going to start talking about different topics. Watch, he's not going to be off the super, I'm messing with these white supremacist groups. He's not going to be rocking with them as hard publicly as he was the last time. And that's all he got to do, and he'll win. Because Joe Biden just sucks so much. I'm trying to tell you, this nigga sucked so much, dog. Anybody is going to win against this dude. And the Democrats, I'm going to tell you right now, they would be foolish to let that man run again. Without letting another Democrat run against a Republican, yo, Biden is not winning, fam. Biden is not going to win. Well, that's it for us today, family. I love y'all. I love that y'all, rocking with the kid. We still need a little bit less than 200 more subscribers. If you not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep pushing this reparations talk. Shout out to the New Black Media and all the people that, take their time out to do some of this research, to give y'all the news and the updates. What's going on. They're supposed to be having another convention in Dallas in May. I think he was talking about May, around Memorial Day weekend. So if y'all can get out there, you got plenty of time this time to make things happen, and make sure you get out there, man. You got time to save up some bread. You got time to tell your job you need off that weekend. You get what I'm saying, or whatever. Yeah, come out and support, man. We got to come out and support each other, and again, get to know each other. We got to keep coming out to these events. We got to keep coming out there, rocking with each other, and being able to build with each other, man. So we can build these Black Wall Streets up, stay strong on this reparations kick until we get these checks. You feel me? And on that note, family,
you do not own and control a sufficient amount of anything to be competitive in America. And you've been marginalized now for 400 years. You're getting ready to be buried. You can get buried underneath a whole broad groups of ambiguous groupings. That's everything from culture groups, language groups, and gender groups. You're going down. It's no longer an issue. You better get reparations and get it fast. Two is going to a new period called benign neglect, okay, or callous indifference, or out of sight, out of mind. So then it said, so Monahan came up with a policy by the late 60s saying, or early 70s saying, it's time for us to move from focusing on black folk to focus on Indians, Hispanics, and women.
Real life examples of benign neglect. Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you, this is for African Americans? If there was a banking crisis, then you target money for the banks. If there was a national disaster, you target your money for the national for disaster relief.
That's not how America works. America works when all of us are pulling together and everybody is focused on making sure that every single person has opportunity.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
Stop the goddamn shit! I'm tired of this motherfucking shit!
Peace, family. We out of here. Y'all have a blessed day. Yeah, be easy, man. Be safe, you know, and stay positive, stay focused. We got to stay focused, family. We got to stay supporting the new black media. I'm not just saying support me. Please support all the other people, you know, the Black Alphas of the world, the Terrain Reloaders of the world, the Beatzilla PDX, Afro Elite, Professor Black, Jason Black, all of our people, man. We gotta rock with our people, man. We gotta rock with our people and keep supporting them and you know, staying grounded. We out of here, fam. Y'all be easy, all right?